Hi, this is Melanie Pardesi Reviews, and I'm here to do my top 5 Telugu films of 2019. If you're new to Pardesi Reviews, I do trailer reactions and film reviews of Indian cinema. This was quite a year in Telugu cinema. I have a special mention, Gadalakanda Ganesh, starring Varun Tej. I know this is a remake of the Kannada film, which I have not seen, that's supposed to be much better. Okay, but I really enjoyed Varun's performance, but it didn't quite make my top 5. Number 5 is a film that I did not see in theaters, and thank you to all of you who recommended it. It's Agent Sai Srinivasa Atreya, starring Naveen Polishetty. Wow. This is quite a fun film. It's really different. It's a sort of a comedy, thriller, detective story. I watched it on Amazon Prime where it's streaming. I hadn't seen that many films with Naveen Polishetty. He was so captivating as this detective. And at the beginning, he's trying to teach detective skills to his assistant played by Shruti Sharma. And he's showing her the Hollywood film, The Usual Suspects. In fact, the Kaiser Sose reveal scene at the end. And that just kind of sets the tone for the whole crazy movie. There's so many twists and turns. The second half did get a little bit slow. But overall, such an original film. And they left the door open at the end that this could be a series and have sequels, and I'm all about that. I hope they're working on writing the script for the next one right now. Number 4, Oh Baby, starring Samantha Akineni and Lakshmi. This film, I have such a delight in Lakshmi, and especially in watching Samantha Akineni become transformed back to 25 years old, and she still acts like an old grandma in so many ways, and her outspokenness, even just the way she walks at first and whatever, she's not used to not having the aches and pains. It was so filled with comedy and delight. It just is carried by Samantha Akineni's wonderful performance. Had such a great time seeing this film. Number 3 is one that's almost impossible for me to pronounce. Brochevarevaruraa. This film had 2 intertwining stories, and they intersect at the interval point, and then we're off to the races in the second half with how the 2 stories of the film intertwine, and it was quite the wild ride. Director Vivek Atreya has woven together one plot about a young film director trying to narrate his film to an actress, and the film director is played by Satyadev. He was wonderful. And then the other story is 3 young friends, and they're trying to help out a girl that's part of their group, and how everything intersects. Like, there's so many twists and turns in this zany story. It was a very fun ride and really a wonderful film, and I'm so glad that you all encouraged me to see this, one of the best films of the year. Number 2 is Everoo, starring Advisesh and Regina Cassandra. This is a debut director, Venkat Ramji, who wrote the story. It's an adaptation of a Spanish film, which is the same Spanish film that the Hindi film Badla is based on, but Everoo, I didn't realize it was the same thing until we got to the end. Let's just put it that way. It's some of the same setup, but very different. And to me, the standout is Advisesh's performance. I loved his film Gudachari, and this film proves that that was not just a one-off success, that he really has the chops. Everoo really packed an emotional wallop. This film had more of an emotional impact on me at the end than the Hindi film Badla did. Everoo is like an onion. As they keep retelling stories and doing flashbacks, it's like layers of an onion that keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the story. It just kept you on the edge of your seat, twisting and turning and twisting and turning. And I thought I knew it was going to happen. And then, yeah. So, really wonderful film, one not to miss. Number 1 will surprise no one, and that's Jersey, starring Nani and Shraddha Srinath. Oh my gosh, this film. It is just a great film, but it also had such a personal impact on me because I went to see it the day after my father's funeral. And I didn't realize what kind of a movie I was walking into. Let's see if I can get through this. My father passed away last week. And so I went in to see this film thinking, this is going to be an escape for me. My father's funeral was just yesterday. And I was already getting emotional just at this warm relationship that Nani's character had with the little boy. And then the point that I really lost it, and if you've seen the film, you know what I mean, is that flashback of them taking the family selfie together. And I wasn't able to cry like I am right now in my father's funeral. It's like I had to be strong and sit there with my mother, and everyone's watching you, and it was just, of course, here I am on video, hundreds of people are watching me. This is a film that just moved me so deeply, and I know it's partially what I'm going through, but I think I would have cried anyway, maybe just teared up like I am now, but I really sobbed at the ending, and it just how he wanted to be a hero for his little boy. I had such an emotional reaction to the film. I was just sobbing. This film, I think, is Nani's career best performance, at least of the films that I have seen of Nani, but I'm not the only one saying that. The script is incredible, and how we have this aging cricketer in this family, but the marriage is portrayed very realistically. Nani's character is going through depression. There's the frustration of his wife, played by Shraddha, and how she's the one that's the breadwinner and having to go to work every day. And there's just so much there in these complex, layered characters. I love the relationship of Nani's character to the young son in the film. It just hit me so hard, but it's just such an emotional film, but just such a good film. Afterwards, details that I didn't realize, because the film was set in the 90s, was flashback into the 80s. I watched the Film Companion review of this, and they talked about how many production design details were so exact of the kind of uniforms and all of that. Those kinds of things over my head. I don't know anything hardly at all about cricket, but I guess it won on those points as well. But to me, the heart of the film is Nani's performance. And oh my gosh, just so great. So emotional impact, so great. In fact, this film is my second best of the entire year. I loved this film. It was just the best Telugu film that I have seen in some time. So that's my top films in the Telugu industry in 2019. I'm sure your list may differ. I'd love to know your list in the comments below. What films have I missed? I haven't been able to see everything. Not everything plays in Chicago. So by now, some of these films that you loved may be on streaming, and I'd love to know about them. So please leave the names in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. Please, if you like this video, share it with your friends on social media. That would really help me out. Subscribe here to Pardesi Reviews, and if you hit the bell when you subscribe, you'll never miss another film review or trailer reaction.